Hello, fellow traders. Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Wednesday, March the 6th. The year's 2024. Let's talk trading. Trading with Walmal. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine and different from Walmal. Walmal, kind of a sluggish day out there today, huh?
Yeah, been a slog. That's for me anyway. I mean, we got a 42 pip range for the day, which is it seems low, and it is low, but for the last couple of weeks, it's, I mean, yesterday I think at this time we're sitting only at 33, so
Yeah, I know.
we're
These,
nine pips to the better, but
yeah, I got 41, and let's see. This week, yesterday was 63, then 62. I mean, we haven't broken out of the 60s. Let's
last
see.
Friday I got 70 pips, but
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
it, man.
Yeah, 9 days ago we had 97. I mean, 16 days ago it was the only day broke 100. I mean, this is what's happened in the market. I guess maybe everybody's trading crypto or something.
I don't know what's going on, but it certainly is compressed. And ADP came out, and the numbers were not good for the U.S. And yeah, it went up, but it went up by like 10 pips. That was all it went up. I expected more than that. So, but we have when does Jolts come out? I know Jolts is coming out soon. It's coming out in 27 minutes. So maybe that'll do something. I don't know.
Well, I'm looking at that M30 candle for the news. That was an hour ago, right?
That was more than that. It was, let's see, an hour and a half ago, so not much more. But yeah, that's a 16 pip. My M30 is a 16 pip candle when the news went out. But the thing is, it had already crept up before the news even came out, so it only moved up, like I said, like 8, 10 pips, something like that,
Right.
from when the news actually dropped. So just one of those days. But this feels like summer trading to me. And for newbies who may not understand what that means, that back in the day, the stock market in particular would just it almost would flatline. It wouldn't move. It'd just sit there and just oscillate back and forth. And you'd have days upon days where the movement in the Dow would be 3 points, 4 points. That'd be the range for the entire day.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. But it's the money, the market's still there. I mean, I think I just told you I'm up, 11.9 pips for the day. So you can make money in it. It's hard though. And I was just telling TRO, a few minutes ago that, that the reality is that I've got 17 trades for the day, and when I was 12 or 13 trades in, my P&L said I was plus 30, plus $30, and which is, not very much, that's for sure. And, it just, it was just one of those days where, I'd win one, lose one, win one, lose one, and just back and forth like that all morning long. And, it's just, like the people who accuse us of, this won't work because you get chopped up. Well, that's what it felt like this morning. Yeah, there was one of these days where I was getting chopped up because I'd win a trade, lose a trade, win a trade, lose a trade, and depending if I was on the odd side or the even side, that told me whether or not how much money I actually made. And
Yeah.
It's frustrating. I mean, and to be honest with you, I took a trade, and I finally went, and I was literally going to not even take the trade and just say, okay, we're shutting this down because this is just a waste of time. I can go and do something else that's much more, I guess, productive than doing this. And I took the trade, and that's the thing about it, And we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. You just got to go and just keep on plugging along and just keep on going and keep on going, And if you are true to your rules, true to your method, and true to, your risk management, you know, hopefully eventually you're able to go and get out of the mess, get out of the malaise, and then you can actually go and put a little bit of money in the bank. I haven't made core today. I'm probably not even going to try to make core. I'm close enough. I'm within a couple of pips of making core. Why take the chance of taking a loss? It's just not worth it. Not on a day like today. But at the same time, you got to plug along in order to get to this position.
Right. I'm looking here. I was thinking it almost looks like you should go short, but it's just like no. It was had everything from H4 down was red. Now everything across the board's green.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, this is a brand new H4 candle.
Yeah, but I've got
for this hour.
The daily, weekly, and monthly are all green also.
Yep. Exactly.
And a indicator 2's green across the board.
Yep, I see that. But it's just like, what are you going to do? So, like right now would be a perfect opportunity to go long. That's what I see. I know you used to call the short, but I would say go long here. The reason why is because you had a flip-flop, you're above indicator 2, you got all the green stuff out there.
Right.
So, but at the same time, and the only good thing is that the only reason why maybe you go and take that chance on that is that there is a range that's kind of established. And the top of that range is at about 27.8 or so.
Right.
So, if you took that trade, you have the possibility of making two and a half pips, something like that.
Yeah.
But that's so tight. What are you gonna do with that? I don't like taking trades into the top. If I'm going to go on a long trade, I don't like taking a trade right into it because so often it just doesn't, it doesn't work out, and you wind up having some type of, you wind up running into a headwind. And the great thing about taking a trade like that, of course, is that if it does break that range, it's gonna blast, and you can easily pick up 15 or 20 pips. I've had that happen to me as well. But more times than not, those ranges, they're on it for, a long time because, what is it? The statistic. I don't know it off my head. But what is it, like 60 or 70% of the time, 80% of the time, the market is ranging, right?
Yeah, it's about 7 to 3. 7 out of 10 times it's ranging. But yeah, it's funny you were calling that. You said if anything, I would go short, you'd go long there. Because I'm looking at that, the 25 line, and it's just, it keeps getting crisscrossing it. So
it keeps on getting rejected.
So it just depends on your bias, and
know. Because I haven't had a single close above the 25, and that's another issue there. It hasn't been able to close above the 25, at least in the last 10 minutes. 15 minutes, it hasn't been able to close above it. So that's another indication for wanting to go short there because you got some type of, stealing being put in that's preventing. But then you can also make the argument, well, we also haven't gotten a close below 22, and it's sort of like, we're deeply compressed. So,
yeah.
So what do you do in this situation? The reality is, I guess what you can do is when it does, it's going to break out of this range. There's no question about it. It'll break out, and when it does break out, it's going to go and shoot 10, 15 pips. The problem is we just don't know which way.
Right.
And I don't have a good bias, to be honest with you. Because when I say go long, that was based on a trigger and not based on a bias.
Right.
And that's what gets you into trouble sometimes because, you're sitting there and it's like, why did I do that? Why did my bias should have been obvious that it was the other way. But that's our friend Harry coming along, right?
Yeah, well, Harry hindsight.
So what are you going to do? So again, so if I had gone long at that, basically at 25 mark, and I took another long, at 22.6, something like that, to go and just maybe average in a little bit. I could have gotten out with break even, but all I would have been doing is sort of like I was saying in the beginning of all of this, and that is all I would be doing is just, getting myself out of trouble type of thing, and, and just trying to go and just, the part of the reason why this morning I was in 13, 14, 15 trades rather, in a row, and still only up to, a pip or two.
You just said something, and that's something maybe we can even do a whole video on. You said getting yourself out of trouble. When do you consider the trade, your last entry, in trouble?
I want my trades to be over within 3 minutes. Okay? And if I'm in the trade for more than 3 minutes, I consider myself in trouble.
Okay.
And so I put myself, and the reason why is because I'm basically scalping. Is it truly scalping? No, but it's one of those day trading things that technically by the rules I'm not scalping, but it's close enough to the idea, of scalping, and which just by definition means that I need to be punching in and punching out very, very quickly. If I'm in there more than 3 minutes, that kind of breaks the rule and says, hey, I'm not in there. I'm not getting out quickly.
Right.
So I need to find a way to go and clear the books, because, again, this all also always comes back to that same number one rule, which is preserve capital at all costs. So what that means for me is that I need to get out before, this thing, it's one of these things where I have no confidence as to what it's going to do, okay? I know it's going to blast, but I don't know which way it's going to blast. I don't know if it's going to blast. Now, of course, you never do know, but I've got, my quote, I know there's no such thing as odds in trading, so don't blast me on this, but I've got a 50-50 chance of this thing blasting against me or blasting for me, okay? And the reality is it's no longer trading. It's now gambling, in my opinion, because what I'm doing is I'm just getting out, or rather I'm staying in, and I don't know which way it's going to go. And it's sort of like, okay, if I don't know which way it's going to go, I have no confidence in the trade anymore, I don't see this thing coming back, then at that point I'm just gambling that it's going to come back. Just get out. Take the loss, take the small loss, sort of like what we talked about yesterday. Take the small loss and move on and look for the next trade. And maybe that's what caused me this morning going back and forth so much, so be it. But at the end of the day, I finally got the trade that I needed, and I was able to go and, maybe I didn't go and get to core today, but I was able to get up almost to 12 pips.
Okay, so when so you consider yourself in trouble, it's not how many pips down, but it's, hey, I look at the clock, I've been in this trade over 3 minutes, I'm in trouble. That's your way of thinking?
That's my, and at the same time, obviously, if all of a sudden it goes against me, 5 pips immediately, well, then I'm in trouble, obviously, for that as well. But, the part of it that, for me anyway, the biggest, that usually almost never happens. What happens usually is like what was happening over the last 10, 12 minutes. And that is that we just been going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And now I'm sitting here in the trade, and honestly, it's sort of like somebody had said to you a while ago, would you go and get into the trade now? And if the answer is no, then why are you still in the trade?
Yeah, that's a mighty one. And guess what, traders? The fastest 15 minutes in trading is up. Maybe we will have to talk about that sometime soon, because that's part of how you trade. When you look at something, if you're down 2, 3, 4 pips, maybe it's like the exit playbook. It's like, hey, if it crosses, 4 pips or more, I'm in trouble. So when you're trading, traders, number one, stop losses need to be in place, that risk management, because it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is TheRumpledOne, over and out.